See that?
Stay tuned for an emergency broadcast. 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 Stay tuned for an emergency broadcast.
You are tuned. The number one thing to take away from that is be observant.
Yeah.
Do not take time to be shocked. You don't have time to be shocked in situations like that. You need to spring into action because moments count. And at those moments, when you see something's going on, that is your window of opportunity. While everybody else is standing around looking like a doofus, you can prepare for the next stage because there will be a next stage.
I mean, granted, we realize there is going to be that short period of time, hopefully short, where you're going to be like, oh, you know, there is going to be that shock and awe factor.
Hopefully like a minute.
Yeah, or less.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once it gets to that point where you're in the shock and awe mode, it's second to second. I mean, every single second's going to count.
Exactly.
You're not, I mean, you know, if you're going to stand there and look at the giant mushroom cloud, oh, wow, it's pretty. I've never seen one in real life. Oh, man, I wonder where it's at. No. Stop wondering where it's at because it's close enough that you can see it.
Exactly.
So...
Next phase, the DEFCON 1 Emergency Plan of Action, Perimeter Security Steps. These are the steps that we're talking about. You know, you see something going on, you see something going down. These are the steps wise, smart survivors will take to, you know, subdue the situation with their end. Because everything's out of control besides what is in the immediate vicinity.
That's right.
You know, so that's what you need to take ownership of. That's when you see this stuff going on, you need to get your butt in gear, you know, and attack the problem, you know, in the best way that you can.
Yep.
Okay, so perimeter security steps, how to harden your house. Now, it's kind of like a military term. Harden means to protect, to like secure, you know, to protect it from other attack gangs, whatever's coming around.
Right.
So I'm going to go through this list. 1, lock all windows and doors, gates, vehicles. If it has a lock it.
Yep.
You know. Number 2, fill up every container you have, including the bathtub, with water. Okay. Yep. Number 3, have predetermined lookout spots in your house. Okay, because when gangs are showing up, you need to have people at certain areas of your house looking out the window, seeing what's going on. Okay, you got to have it. Number 4, carry weapons at all times. You're inside your house at this moment. Don't be worried. I would be worried anyways, but don't be worried about being seen as bad because you have a weapon. Get a survival kit and carry it at all times. You can put one in your car, put one in your house. You can make we can go days on what a survival kit can be. Yeah, believe me. But we
have gone on for days.
Yeah, you know, you can figure out what's best for you and your family, what's going to provide for your needs. But let me tell you, fire and water are 2 of the biggest.
Fire, shelter, and water.
Yeah, fire, shelter, and water. Okay, number 6. Get your go bags ready in case you have to flee your house. A go bag is basically your survival kit, but with some added stuff in there, like maybe clothes, socks, food, pertinent papers, you know, your mortgage insurance number, your car insurance number, your birth certificate, you know, social security cards.
Pertinent information and stuff that you would need to survive if you have to run, like an EMP. You know, you see a roving horde of rioters coming towards you. Obviously, you're not going to be able to grab this, and this.
Yeah.
Your go bag has everything you need for, you know,
go.
3 days to a week's worth of survival, depending on how big your bag is, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I mean, you just grab and go. Go back. Grab and go. Bug out bag. Same thing.
What happens a lot of time in these other countries that when catastrophe hits and people have to flee and they try to come back, the government won't let them back in their own house.
Right.
Because they have no proof that is their house because they left all their paperwork.
Exactly.
You don't want to do that. Believe me. That'll be a bad thing.
And waterproof everything or put everything into baggies in your go bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you have to jump in the drink, you don't want everything in there getting ruined.
That's true. Number 7, stay inside if at all possible. Let animals use the bathroom in the bathroom or garage. You're creating basically a perimeter defense here. You're creating a castle. It's your keep, you know, and you don't want to go out any more than you absolutely have to because that's where craziness is, okay?
Well, especially if we're talking about nuclear, biological, radiological attacks. You know, you open that door, boom, exposed.
Yeah,
Done.
exactly.
Your skin starts boiling on your forehead and stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, it may be gross, but, you know, letting your dogs pee or poop in your bathroom or wherever it is that you guys might all be huddled around, but it's going to be better than having your face melt off.
Yeah, a little pee and poop smell ain't going to kill you.
Yeah.
Just annoy you. Okay, keep all lights off inside the house that are not necessary, especially if you're looking out the window. You don't want to create a silhouette of yourself.
Nope.
You don't want to let people know that you're watching them. You don't want to draw attention to yourself. You want to be as low-key and uninteresting as possible.
You don't want to let anybody know that there's somebody home.
Yeah.
Period. Because if they don't think there's anybody home, chances are they're not going to stop. Because if they see your house and there's no lights on, no movement, no nothing, but they see the house over here where there's a light on, they're more likely to go to the house with the light on inside the house, as opposed to stopping at the one, you know, with a quarantine sign on their door and no lights or something like that.
And the only exception is if someone's trying to break in. Then you let them know with gunfire. You know, you tell them to smile for the camera and pull the trigger. Okay. Keep all outside lights on so you can see them. Okay, inside lights off, outside lights on.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll protect you looking out a window because it'll be hard to see you and stuff. Number 10, get your panic and fallback room set up. And we'll talk about this more. You got to have a panic room. You have to have a fallback room. The last line of defense, the last area in your house that you can go to protect yourself.
Yep.
You know, and you want to think strategically when deciding that. You know, what's closest to the road, what's farthest from the road. Is there like pinch points in the house, hallways that you'll have to make people go through? Because it doesn't matter if there's 100 people coming at you. If they all have to go through a hallway, it's going to slow them down to 2 or 3 at a time.
Yep.
And that's your area, that's your pinch point where you're going to get them.
Well, and one of the advantages to having, you know, panic fallback room in your own personal house is, you know, when it does start getting crazy, I mean, granted, you do want to have to, like we talked about in our last show, you know, you want to be able to rely on your community. You want to be able to rely on your neighbors. But if it gets to a point, you know, you don't have anything prepared, and they're like, well, everybody, you know, go to your local tornado shelter. Well, if it's a chemical or biological attack or something, what's to say you go into that tornado shelter and 2/3 of the people in there are infected? You're screwed at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean,
and they have ventilation anyways.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Purified.
So having the stuff set, you know, being self-reliant when it comes to this kind of thing.
Wait, hold on. I'm totally confused by that. What does self-reliant mean?
Like
I'm just joking. Sorry, guys.
Put me on the spot.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Most people don't know what self-reliant is.
Just rely on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Do as much as you possibly can on your own for you and your family.
I mean, if it gets to a point where there's no choice, you have to get out of your house. You know, the military comes and kicks your door in, you know, or your house gets bulldozed. I mean, whatever the case may be, at least try to provide for yourself and your family before you have to rely on anything anybody else can provide or give you.
Exactly. The more you can do for yourself, like you was saying, the less you have to expose yourself.
Yep.
You have to open yourself up for attack. The less you have to go beg for someone's mercy. You know, it's like, are you going to feed your family? Or are you going to expect somebody down the street to feed your family?
Yep.
You know, I mean, just use your brains. I mean, come on.
All right. The next section we have is the evacuation and escape plan. Now, this part, it kind of has 2 little sections because one, what we mainly have outlined is if everybody is together. Yep. You know, the whole family's together, but there are certain situations where, you know, you might not be home when something goes down.
Yeah.
So basically, you need, if everybody's at home, determining a meeting area, it's basically like a fire evacuation plan, which any sane person already has a fire evacuation plan for their family. You know, you gotta have your meeting area outside where, you know, everybody's safe and everything.
Yeah, inside, outside.
Right. You know. The route you're gonna take, whether it's, you know, getting out of the house, if you're meeting half a mile away from the house, you gotta have a determined route, you know, to figure out how everybody's going to get there the safest way possible.
Yeah, like if you have kids that are old enough and they walk home from school or anything or ride the bus, but at that point you might have to walk. It might be an MP. Buses might not work.
Right.
So you need to know the route in which they are going to take home.
Right.
So if you have to go searching for them, they know not to deviate from the route unless it's a life and death situation.
Unless they get snatched up or, you know, something unthinkable happens, you'll find them within that route.
Yeah, exactly.
Determine a meeting area secondary to, or in case of having to flee the first one.
Yes, you got to have more than one. Redundancy is good.
Yep. And again, obviously, you know, the route, practice those routes, do it with your family, your kids. Like my kids, they think I'm crazy sometimes.
That's all right.
They'll thank me later.
When they're alive.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like going woohoo, and you'll be like, oh, Daddy, you're such an oracle of wisdom.
Thank you for saving me. Oh! The third, obviously, it's basically just a third and final location. You don't want to really get 2, over 3, because then you're just...
Yeah, it could be hard to remember.
On and on and on.
But I mean, it's like
150 locations.
It could be your house. It could be somewhere down the street from your house, and the third one could be at your grandparents. It doesn't matter where it is or how it is. You just need to make sure that if your people aren't at spot 1, you can go look at spot 2, and if they're not at spot 2, look at spot 3.
Right.
In other words, you need to have redundancy, because the main thing is keeping your family together, keeping them safe. There's strength in numbers, and of course, you want to make sure they're alive and protected and stuff. So,
right.
I mean,
another the second part too, in case somebody in the family isn't home, whether it's kids, mom, dad, or whoever's living with you, basically come up with some kind of symbol, like the @ sign, whatever kind of symbol you want. You could draw SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Do it like some kind of invisible ink, or you want to make it to where it's not obvious to somebody. Like they open up your cabinet door, like, oh, there's a symbol here. It's got to be something secretive. Basically, like, so anybody's not home. You're on your way home from work, whatever the case may be. Your family at home knows what the plan is. They know where the first evacuation route is. So you come home knowing something's going on or whatever. Your family's not here. Well, okay, if there's not here and you haven't been contacted by them, something's going on. Well, you refer to that secret symbol. That secret symbol lets you know, okay, go to location 1. Go to location 1, it's crazy, you can't find them. Well, that's when you have something else, basically another secret symbol let you know, okay, well, they went to location 2, location 3, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's something that only you've discussed with your family or, close personal friends that you don't mind helping out, that type of situation.
Exactly. And some people at home, they're sitting at home and go, wow, that seems kind of extreme. No, it's not. Just look at history, and this is what boggles my mind. People are so deceived and pacified by prosperity that it's like they think nothing will ever go wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you all the tornadoes, hurricanes, storms, man-made disasters.
Yeah. Go talk to anybody that's been affected by those.
Yeah, it happens, okay? You live in the real world, not this, Disneyland of prosperity and happiness all the time.
Aldous Huxley's Brave New World Utopia. Woo! Everything's good.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that way, and it's smart because you want to take ownership of your life, your family's life, and the responsibility of taking care of them.
Right, yep.
Okay, panic and fallback room. Okay, number 1. This is different than a safe room, and it's for biological and nuclear attack. Okay, it's a fallback room. This is the room all the family will sleep in at night. You want to keep your family together, okay? It needs to have one escape window that can be fortified for protection, because you don't want your house to become your trap, like you say, they're trying to torch you out of it or something like that.
Yeah, then you can't get out of your windows because you've got them barred up.
Yeah, exactly.
Welded to your wall.
Yeah, and that happens. Believe me, and firefighters can't even get into that. Mm-hmm. So you want to make it where there's an escape route or escape hatch, escape something, to get out of that room. You'll keep your go bags and ammo in this room at night, especially, So if it comes down to it and you have to escape, you leave that room. Also keep your food and water. We're not talking about you're going to be staying at Motel 6 with all the room in the world. This is survival. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're thinking, well, that room's going to be
probably going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, and kind of cramped.
Yeah, exactly.
People are going to start getting stinky and sweaty.
Yeah, everybody's going to smell Daddy's feet.
Yeah,
But it's survival. This is what you do in survival. Okay. Black out the windows with sheets or paint if you will be using a flashlight. Because like we said earlier, you don't want inside light to expose you or where you're at or what you're doing.
Right.
Okay. Number 7, a room should be in the most fortifiable area in the house. Keep in mind the roads outside, doorways in, and bottlenecks, which we talked about, like hallways and stuff like that, where you can bottleneck the flow of traffic into that certain area. And a lot of times what I've read is they'll have the family sleeping in the room and the dad will sleep one room forward.
Right.
In other words, be the first stop, first alert.
Right.
And
that's also assuming you don't have I have a couple extra doors because, the place I'm renting, there was an add-on put onto it. So, it's harder for me to figure out as opposed to you because I've got extra access points. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you want granted, you want windows and stuff so you can pay attention to what's going on outside.
Yeah.
If you can have a door, that's great. It's like we said, figure out how to fortify it or something.
Yeah.
You want to be able to get out, but you want to make sure that there are the least amount of possible ways for somebody else to get in.
Yeah, basically.
So it's not that you want to imprison yourself, but you want to keep everybody else out.
Yeah.
Unless you want to let them in.
Basically, yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh, the joys of DEF CON.
People are probably listening and going, wow. Wow.
You know what? People that aren't awake already, by the time they get to this particular show, they're going to be like, these guys are just conspiracy theorists. None of this makes, even though it all makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But,
even though people have been doing it for eons,
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making sure you've got extra food.
Yeah.
Making sure that you have a way to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we mentioned the natural disaster stuff.
Yeah.
With the Katrina. I'm not going to say that there were people out there looting, but there were.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Superdome.
Yeah.
It got... I'm not even going to...
That's what happens when you don't take care of yourself. The government tells you to go there.
They're like, oh, we need you to do this and this and this. Well, I don't have to because I got everything I need right here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess you're a terrorist. Yeah, guess so.
Oh, yeah. Whatever you want to call me, I'll be alive.
Yeah. I don't need you on my property. I got water, 3 feet up, but I have a second story to my house, so I'm still good until the water recedes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. This is basically the third page to DEFCON 1, Steps to Securing the Safe Room, which, as mentioned previously, is not the fallback room.
Yeah. Now, it might become the fallback room if biological or...
Right. Like Lance just said, the following applies to chemical, biological, and nuclear attacks. Basically, these are the supplies. And on our list here, we have a few extra blank spots. And one thing I want to encourage people to do when they listen to the show, obviously, if you have any suggestions, ideas, anything you would like to add, any comments, I mean, you can make the comments on the YouTube page.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're open to suggestions. No matter how redundant, how good, how bad, We'll look at all of it.
We encourage people using their brains.
Yes.
Actually, we are sponsored by the Brain People Institute. How about that? We just made it up.
Yeah. All right. Supplies. You're going to need duct tape, plastic sheeting. The thicker the better. I went out and bought a bunch of painter's drop cloth. 7 mil. I mean, you could use those big, me and my family, we call them body bags, but the big, long, giant trash bags.
Yeah.
You can split the seam on those. Those work good.
And tape them to your windows.
Yep. Obviously, your food supplies. And as far as food supplies goes, you want stuff that isn't going to perish right away.
Yeah.
Especially, during an EMP, you don't have any electricity unless, if you're smart, you've got a solar generator of some kind or something like that.
Yeah.
Your water supplies and things, purification tablets if you got them, liquid, anything like that. Anything to help purify water in case,
Which we'll talk more here in a little bit.
Obviously, weapons and ammo, first aid kit and medicines, bedding and clothing, essential items only. I mean, stuff you don't want to,
Your comic book collection does not need to go into your safe room.
Obviously, doesn't need to be in your safe room. Yeah. Gas masks if you got them. And,
please have them.
Yeah, I'm going to be ordering mine here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Radio and communication devices, preferably hand crank, everything. You don't want to have to rely on electricity, batteries, none of that. If you can get a hand crank, the only way it's not going to work is if you smash it or you're dead because you can't crank it.
Yeah.
And then trash bags.
Yeah. Dirty clothes, dirty this. Yep. Fix and repair.
Split them. You can use them to cover vents, windows, all that doors.
And there's like a lot of, you can add stuff, whatever's pertinent to you. If you have medical conditions, if you have a baby, of course, it would be diapers, Right.
I mean, this is all, we're just trying to break it down generally.
Yeah.
The generalized stuff you're going to need. Now, what you need to do with the list is take it and format it to your specific family needs.
Yeah. Okay, securing the room. Lock all the doors in the house. Bring the supplies that are not already in the safe room to the safe room. Double check your list. We like lists. Believe me, we have lists.
Yes.
Lists are there because when your brain's freaking out and you saw half your country blown away or, your neighbors just slaughtered in front of you, your brain isn't going to be working right. So the more you can write down and just reference, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah. You're still going to have that shock and awe moment for a long time. But if you've got a list that you can refer to during your shock and awe moment, it'll help. Number one, it'll help keep you focused on the task at hand.
Yeah.
So you can get through the shock and awe moment a little bit quicker. So.
Yeah. Okay, number 4. Begin taping the windows. Stretch plastic at least 1 inch beyond the frame of the window, but not more than 4 inches. Pre-cut the sheets to fit your windows, okay? If you do this beforehand, you'll save a lot of time, a lot of effort, okay?
One thing.
Sorry.
The pre-cutting your sheets, when you and I first made up these lists, I thought, well, that's a really good idea. But I'm a renter. So what I did is I basically went through my entire, where I have designated my house as my safe room / panic room. Mm-hmm. I basically went through, measured out all my windows, and then I rolled out my plastic sheeting and just marked on each one. So then all I got to do is cut. Because I got to thinking about it, as good as pre-cutting would be, so you just boom right there, boom right there. You know, I move into a house, once I buy a house, you know, if the windows aren't all the same size, I'm going to basically have to go buy all new plastic sheeting. Mm-hmm. So if you're a renter and, you know, it's not something you want to do with pre-cut, at least just measure and mark on the tape. So all you got to do is take some scissors or a box knife or something and then staple.
There you go.
So
sounds good, man. Good place. Cover the heat and air vents and any attic access points in your safe room. You know, it depends on where you live, what you have. Yeah. Turn on your radio only for a short while to reserve your batteries, unless you have a crank on them. And then you don't want it too loud because you don't want people outside hearing it. You know, so it's pretty good.
And obviously, it never hurts to buy extra batteries. It's nice to have the hand crank stuff, but, you know, if you can afford to buy extra batteries, buy extra batteries.
Yeah. But even those have a shelf life, so.
Yeah, true.
You know.
All right. Steps to letting someone in the safe room after they have been contaminated. And this is a big issue, especially when it comes down to if your secret symbols don't work, you can't get out of the house. If it's chemical biological attack, obviously you don't want to leave wherever you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So, determine decontamination area. Basically, you know, if I came home, I've been exposed to something, or I feel like they blew up an atomic bomb, 50 miles from my house.
Covered in radiation.
Yeah. If I feel like I've been exposed, I need to figure out, once I get home, where I'm going to decontaminate myself, where I'm dumping my clothes, whatever. Basically, I'm talking about dumping clothes. Naked time!
Oh, yeah.
Get naked and throw all your clothes into a trash bag.
Yep.
Tie the bag tight and throw it into your predetermined disposal area. I mean, I'm talking tie that bag tight.
Yeah, even double, triple bag.
Once your clothes go into that bag, hopefully it's not your favorite clothes, because you're not ever going to be using them again.
Yeah, that's the end of those.
And your decontamination area, obviously, is not somewhere, I mean, if everything subsides, you're going to be wanting to move anyways. If you got one whole room of your house that's going to be contaminated, you're going to want to try and seal that off.
Yeah.
So that, the rest of the family's not exposed when everything kind of dies down.
Yeah.
Wash and scrub your skin with soap. Scrub hard. Wash your hair if you have some. Be quick, but, be thorough.
Be very thorough.
Nails, between the legs, in the ears.
Nose.
Yeah. I mean,
even rinse your mouth out, for Pete's sake.
Yep.
I mean, if it has a hole, put water in it.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like...
and then after you've gotten done doing that, it may be awkward if you got, family there, but move your naked butt from the decontamination area to the safe room, then get dressed once you're in there.
Yeah, don't want to put your good clothes in the decontamination area, because it's going to pick up something.
Right. I mean, the chances are, something like that happens, it's pretty slim you're going to be completely decontaminated.
Yeah.
But you want to take as little of it with you as possible.
Yeah, and if you want to, lack of a better word, decompression area where you make someone sit for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to make sure they're not showing signs of infection of some sort, that would be a good idea. If you can swing it, handle it. If it's putting them in, like a pantry closet, keeping them in the garage somewhere. We're not trying to be mean, but the whole idea is survival.
Right.
And you're going to do things that are going to be way different than what you're used to. You're just going to have to get used to it.
Yep.
All right. Well-being checklist, okay? You want to check the pulse, check eye movement and dilation, see if they respond to light, if one's bigger than the other. You want to check their temperature, have them repeat what you say to them and tell you their full name and address, right? Look for skin irritations, rashes, any kind of splotchiness, anything that just looks out of the norm.
Right.
This is what it amounts to. And
the one thing about the well-being checklist is each individual, every single person needs to know it. I'm not saying get on there and find out every little side effect to chemical radioactive poisoning, because you'd spend all day. But if you know basic science, and everybody in your family knows basic science, because like you said, if you're going to sit for an hour or two in some kind of decompressing room, you're going to want to know what to check on. You want to know what to look for with your own pulse.
Yeah.
You're going to want to know what to look for with your eyes being dilated or something like that, as opposed to, I took my clothes off, I scrubbed down with some Drano or something. Let me go, hopefully my family will recognize what to look for. Well, yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
But you yourself need to know as well.
And, basic list, you can make the list longer. It's their nose constantly running. Are they got bleeding out the ears? I mean, they got cotton mouth like from hell?
That's a very good point there, because a lot of these radiation poisoning and stuff, you're not going to have boiling skin right away. A lot of this stuff just starts off like flu symptoms.
Yeah.
A runny nose, itchy eye.
Yeah. It's like, are you completely dizzy? Can you not walk a straight line? And you're just so disoriented. Yeah. Are you still seeing color? It's like, what color is this card?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks gray. Oh,
How many fingers am I holding up? A hoof.
It's like, why is the whole house spinning?
Yep.
All right, so the next one, Simple Steps Emergency Preparedness. Okay, there's ready.gov, there's FEMA.gov, there's RedDirtReady.gov, there's .gov everything. But these are things you want to go check out. And I got some of the stuff from RedDirtReady.gov. These are the list that we made, and then we're going to talk about what Ready.gov and all these other .govs tell you to do. But believe me, they're telling you the same thing. We're going to an extreme they're not, because we're giving you information that they wouldn't give you because they're probably afraid that you're going to freak out. But
or they would want you dependent on them to a certain degree.
Yeah,
so
that's your point.
During a riot, no, please come here.
Yeah.
Or during a chemical attack, oh, okay, well, please come here because we've got everything locked down. We've got it all safe the way it needs to be.
Half of America's good. Hey, you got beer and football? I'm on my way. You guys showing movies? Can I get them on Facebook?
Yep.
On
Facebook.
Then people will be like, sure. Anyways, you want to start?
Yeah. We're going to start off with water. Easiest way to do this. 99.8%, because some people might be allergic to bleach. Easiest way to purify water, because almost everybody's got it in their house, bleach. Regular old bleach. Doesn't have to be expensive. It could be generic, cheap, just bleach. Basically, it's 2 drops of bleach per quart of water. Okay, 8 drops of bleach per gallon of water. Half a teaspoon for 5 gallons.
Say that again for them, because they're probably writing this down.
I'll go that one more time. 2 drops per quart of water. That's 2 drops of bleach. I'm sorry. 8 drops of bleach per gallon, half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon, TSPN, a little abbreviation on the spoons themselves.
Yeah, I always get mixed up.
Half a teaspoon for 5 gallons, a 5-gallon bucket. Now, it's best to wait 24 hours, if possible, before drinking it, because, you're going to taste the bleach. I remember back in my pot smoking days trying to detox, I don't even remember who I heard it from or where I heard it, because this was probably right after the invent of the internet, and they didn't have that kind of stuff on there. But, a little bit of bleach in a glass of water, and you're like, oh, this is supposed to detox me? I gotta pass a pee test.
It doesn't work, does it?
No, no.
Yeah, it's probably not. It probably tastes like poo.
It's horrible.
You were desperate.
So, and then obviously, shake it vigorously to oxygenate your water for the taste.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you put any kind of chemical in your water to help purify it, you want to shake it up, because there's a good chance if it's heavier than the water, it's just going to sink to the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and you can use a straw and just blow air in it, but not that the taste really matters, but believe me, anything helps.
Right. Now we've got, for boiling water, boil the water for at least 5 minutes. It's best to wait for a rolling boil. And we're talking like, if you're boiling water to make macaroni I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that will burn water, but make sure the water is like bubbling at the top, going crazy. If the water is very suspect, boil it for 10 minutes. Use a straw to blow air into the water to increase the taste. Basically, just like the last one, oxygenate your water.
Yeah.
Remember, most houses have 40-gallon water tanks. Be sure to turn water to the tank off at the first sign of emergency. Turn the power or the gas, depending electric or gas tank, to the tank off. Release pressure from the release valve at the top. Now, there are stuff we've seen. You can find videos on YouTube that will show you how to basically decompress your water tank. Release pressure top. Okay. Open a hot water faucet in another room to release the water from the base of the hot water tank.
Yep. Pretty much. Because at first it'll be hard for it to just drain out if it's still holding pressure.
Right.
So if you just do the simple steps of release the pressure valve.
And that's 40 gallons of water.
Yeah, exactly.
It's clean water, unless you've got a horribly nasty, dirty tank.
Even at a gallon a day for a family of 4, that'll last you 10 days.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And if you listened to us earlier and filled up everything in your house that could put water in, you'd be doing all right.
Yeah. You'd use the water tank as the last, where you've used everything else.
All right, food. Try to have at least a 4-day supply of emergency food on hand. For this purpose, canned foods can't be beat. Just open and eat. Stay away from canned foods with a lot of tomatoes or high fat content because they spoil quicker.
Yep.
These types of goods go bad to the fastest. A personal favorite of mine is ramen noodles.
Oh, love the ramen.
Cheap and last a long time.
Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of eating them because I ate them so much growing up, but survival mode, you're going to eat whatever.
I've eaten ramens 3 years past the expiration date, not a problem.
Yep.
And you got to have salt to survive. Of course, a little salt flavoring pack, you know. I doubt the MSG will do you any good to preserve your life, but it preserves the food.
But at least it won't just taste like some dry, nasty, flavorless noodles.
Yeah, for sure. They last a long time, have a great balance of fat, carbs, and protein. You need fat in emergencies because you get rabbit fever if you don't get enough fat.
Yep.
Try to have a gallon water jugs on hand at all times for carefree drinking water. It's best to have a small propane stove and 1 pound cans of propane on hand at all times to cook your food and purify your water. Why 1 pound cans? Because if it leaks, you're not losing all your propane.
That's right.
You know, you can go get your 40 gallon, but if it has a leak in it, you're done for. That's it. Game over. So,
all right, money. Try to carry or have at least $100 in cash on you in case the debit card system goes down. And the funny thing is, the government's trying to go to this cashless society, so it's going to be microchip scans or debit cards or anything anyways. Where was it? Was it Louisiana?
Oh, wait.
Louisiana, where they were talking about you can't use cash for secondhand sales?
Yeah.
Like garage sales, stuff like that?
Yeah,
you go to
you're right.
yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, super crazy.
Try to have it in 1s and 5s in case change cannot be made. Obviously, you know, if you got $100 and $1 bills, that's going to take you a lot farther than, oh, well, I've got a 5, but it only cost me 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Get out of my store. I don't have any change for you. Thanks for the 5.
Oh, I know. I mean, just imagine you're at Walmart and, like, you know, the Visa system goes down and you're buying food and groceries. Well, guess what? I have $100 in my wallet. You know, you could pay cash and leave. Even without change, at that point, it probably won't matter.
Yep.
You know, like, keep it. I'm out of here.
Even if you don't have the money, you know, try and, you know, we've talked before, you know, silver. Obviously, you don't want to be carrying silver coins around with you or gold coins around with you. But if you can have something on you, Gerald Celente keeps talking about buy bags of dimes, buy bags of coins, because they're going to dump the dollar.
Yeah.
Paper money is going to be worth junk pretty soon.
Yeah,
so,
about a year.
I mean, get rolls of whatever you can do. Just make sure you've got some kind of money on hand that you can use to exchange goods.
And believe me, if a total collapse like EMP or something like that happens, believe me, people are so set in their old ways, they'll still think that has value. So why people still think it has value, use it up quick.
Yep.
You know, because after that, it's barter.
Yeah, I'm going to say once people realize, well, money is just,
it's nothing.
Yeah, I could wipe my butt with it, and it's basically going to have the same value. I would rather have that bag of salt you have as opposed to that $100 bill.
Exactly. Because it'll be worth a lot.
I can't eat the $100 bill.
Exactly. Okay, medicines. Try to get a longer prescription from your doctor. At least 90 days would be good. If prescriptions have to be kept refrigerated, make sure you have a cooler and use the ice in your freezer immediately. Make sure you wrap the medicine so it won't freeze right next to the ice. Keep it in a dark room or closet, or in the last case scenario, keep it in your toilet.
Yep. This is the one that bugs me the most because my mom has been going through some issues, and she's on all kinds of medicines. We've been going through a bunch of... You know, I've been doing a lot of research trying to find herbal remedies for all of our prescriptions.
Yeah.
That we are dependent on this stuff. And it's bad that we have to say, okay, well, if you're on medications, have at least 90 days. I mean, it's, you know, you don't... It bugs me that we have to rely on that stuff every day now.
Just to live, yeah.
I mean, yeah, antidepressants or whatever. So,
no, it's ridiculous. You know, and a lot of times you can get a better deal on your prescriptions if you get a longer prescription there.
Yep.
All right,
shelter. Buy a tent, dome style, that can fit your living room. Obviously, that can fit.
Your safe room.
Your safe room, and get everybody into it if you have a family size of mine.
Yeah.
This is great for winter and retaining the heat. Place emergency space blankets found in the camping section. You know, the shiny silver aluminum looking ones.
Yeah.
On top of the tent, between the tent and the rain fly. This helps capture more heat. Use a sheet inside attached to the ceiling with clothespins to capture moisture from your breath. Also, lighting a candle inside the tent. Watch out for the fire, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty bad. We'd even have to mention that to our people.
Yeah.
And keep it above freezing, or will help keep it above freezing. And having a 0-degree sleeping bag is a must in the wintertime. If
very
you
big.
live in a climate like ours where it's like you got extreme heat one time of the year and then extreme cold the other part of the year.
Exactly. All right, lights. Candles. Tea light candles are cheap. Candles, like, real quick, a bag of, 50 tea light candles, $4. They burn for 4 hours. Enough light to move around in your safe room.
Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on. Candles found in the camping section cost more, but can last up to 7 hours. Flashlights. Traditional flashlights are good. Be sure to keep batteries near the flashlights, but outside of it, and until needed. You don't want to store your flashlights with the batteries inside of it. If batteries go bad, it could ruin the flashlight. Hand-cranked LED flashlights are the best because they use less battery, they last longer, and they'll never run out of power.
Yep.
And the LED lights last 1,000,000 kilowatt hours. So especially if you get one like 3 or 4 LEDs, the likelihood of all those LEDs going out, you're more likely to win the lottery.
Yeah.
You know.
As opposed to losing all the LED bulbs at one time.
Yeah.
All right. Sanitation. This is important if you're in survival mode. If you are connected to a city sewer system, make sure the bowl of your toilet stays full. Or, I'm not going to say all the way full, but at least, up above where it starts to
neck.
Get down. Yeah. The neck in the base of your toilet acts as a barrier of disease from the sewer system. Use a 5-gallon bucket with liner for your deletions. Delete chow.
Yeah, honey bucket. I like honey bucket.
Yep. Bury your waste, not the bucket, outside away from your house. Take a sponge bath often to prevent disease from spreading.
Yeah, that's right there is a must. Most people think in survival situations, no, if you stay dirty enough, long enough, you're going to get a disease. Mm-hmm. You got to bathe yourself. You got to wash your clothes. You got to change your underwear.
Sponge off. Yeah. Spray yourself with the garden hose if you can go outside or something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might use a little bit of your drinking water if you need to, but it's important. I mean, hygiene is key.
Yeah, definitely. Family plan. Make sure you have a family plan in place. Contact numbers, meeting places, a common person to call to contact each other in emergency numbers, etc. Thank you, FEMA.gov, because I learned something on FEMA.gov that I did not know. That in case of most emergencies, when cell phone systems went down and the phone systems went down, texting usually still works. I did not know that. So remember that texting. If all else fails, text. Updating the list now.
Write that down.
Yeah. So now I'm going to go over the Red Dirt Ready website stuff. I'm just going to fly through it real quick. It's kind of a list they give. Hand crank radio, hand crank flashlight, whistle, sanitation wipes, TP, garbage bags, wrench to turn off utilities, local maps, cell phone chargers, 3 days of water and 3 days of supply of food, gas masks, HEPA filters, jackets, blankets, etc. Any additional items you might need, i.e. baby formula, menstrual pads, etc. Water purification, of course you need bleach. Med kits, gloves, dressing, soap, antibiotic cream, burn ointments, bandages, eye wash, medication, scissors, tweezers, lubricants, pain meds.
Aside from a lot of the first aid stuff, the good rule of thumb that you told me when you first got me into a lot of this and stuff I hear on the radio all the time, reading the survival manuals, that's another thing. Buy books.
Oh, yeah.
Read a book. Survival manuals, what's those, but what to do when there's no doctor, no dentist.
Yeah.
Edible and inedible plants in your area. But, I lost my train of thought. When you first got me into this. Basically, aside from the first aid stuff, anything that you want to have for survival mode, make sure it has more than one purpose.
Yeah.
You don't want to have, 50 things in your go bag that only have one purpose.
Do one thing.
Yeah. I mean, safety pins. Mending clothes. Fish hooks.
Yeah, everything.
Most people wouldn't think of using a safety pin as a fish hook. Hopefully you'll have fish hooks in there because it's an essential part of a survival kit.
Yeah.
But in case, you lose your fish hooks on the one that got away.
Yeah.
You got to back up the safety, so make sure you got stuff in there that's dual purpose.
Yeah, and go with the mindset of camping.
Yeah.
Act and prepare like you're camping. You might be camping inside your house, but it's still the concept is still the same.
Yep.
You want to be able to, whatever you have to be used in the worst of situations.
And if, God willing, none of this ever happens. God willing.
Please, Lord.
At least, like you said, you've got a whole bunch of awesome camping supplies.
Yeah. I mean, it's just basic common sense stuff that you should have to protect you and your family. Take some ownership. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that, Cody? What was that?
Hold on, maybe we should go check.
19 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant, negative K, nothing further. Just see a cabbie on the corner. Excellent. Fire rifle. Alright, 10